So take a look at Twitter, TikTok, or Facebook, and you'll notice a modern phenomenon: the ability to publish our feelings to the world the moment we feel them. From regular friends to famous and influential people, it's pretty obvious that handling negative emotions, especially anger, is not something our society does well. Our culture says if I feel something strongly, I'm going to let it out. I'm going to say so. But feelings are fickle. So many times we feel like doing something in the moment and then feel completely different after doing it. How about you? You feel like eating a second or third piece of cake, and afterwards, not only do you feel sick, you might also feel shame and regret that you didn't show more self-control. You feel attracted to someone, and so you have an affair. You do it because you felt like it. And then how do you feel? Shame, guilt. Telling someone off feels so good in the moment, and afterwards, sometimes you feel bad for not being more in control of your own self. When you regret something you thought would feel good, it's because you didn't behave according to your own values. Your choices were not in alignment with the person that you want to be. Regret tells you something. It says you went off track. And this can happen most often when we're angry. And if you're in a destructive marriage, you have plenty of reason to feel angry. You're sick of being belittled, furious at what's happening to you and your kids, disgusted that your husband chooses pornography to satisfy his sexual needs. Your anger is not sinful unless you give it control. If you allow your angry feelings to determine your behavior, you're probably going to be rude and selfish, belligerent, cruel, and even abusive yourself. The very essence of destructive behavior is doing what feels good in the moment, but feelings are only meant to inform you. They are not meant to be your sole source for decision making. If you only go by your feelings when making a choice, you'll almost always make a bad decision. There must be something else inside of you that has a value against speaking or behaving in a certain way. In other words, you have a virtue inside that says something like, I don't want to use the F word even when I'm angry. You literally put boundaries around your own self that says, I do this and I don't do that, no matter how angry I am or whatever I feel. Friend, you get to decide who you are, not your feelings. Let me also say this: the time to decide those values and boundaries is not when you're most angry. Instead, decide ahead of time what you're going to do when a conversation gets heated or when you feel your heart pumping and you're in danger of losing your temper. What happens to you when you're angry matters. And if you're not proud of the way you handle yourself, the way that you speak to your husband or your children, it's time to think about your own values and virtues. Decide what they are. What kind of person do you want to be? And then live inside of those virtues and values. Create some boundaries for yourself. Until next time, God bless.